And let me know or let anybody in the chat know if you're having any issues downloading it. So first, we've already talked about the free trial, and you can invite your team on there, and I'll show you how to do that. And then I'll show you what it's like to redline contracts in Gavel Exec, because there's a few different ways you can do that. And then I'll show you how to add custom clauses to your contracts. And then I'll show you how to run playbooks for negotiation efficiency. And then we'll open it up for any questions you have. And then I'll show you the discount, because you know I got to leave it at the end to make you stay. All right, cool. So I'm going to briefly unshare my screen and then show you an agreement here. And shout out to all these different people from all over the world. Love to see that. All right. So I am now sharing my screen. And I think you all can see that. Always a little bit nervous about sharing the wrong screen. I think we're good. So here I have a commercial lease agreement. And before I really start getting into redlining and doing all of that, I want to show you inside here how you can add people to your team, because the nice part is you can create workspaces. And so you can go in and say, hey, I want this workspace, this workspace. So if you have people in, say, different practice areas that you want to invite to your specific teams and share your playbooks, your rules with them, all the different ways that you might negotiate and use Gavel Exec, you can do that. And so what you'll do is you'll invite the members to the specific workspace you're in. So you can just click this invite and add them. And the nice part is you add them through email. They accept the email and their email address, and it pops right in on their Microsoft Word. And that's all that's doing when you're on the free trial, is adding more people to the free trial. So you don't have to like pay to add people or anything like that during that free trial. So now I'm here. I have a lease agreement. It's 33 pages. And it's a commercial lease agreement specifically. So there's a number of ways I can approach this when I want to negotiate, right? Say I see this, my client sends it to me, and I'm like, okay, what do I do here? I could scroll through it. I could read it line by line like I used to do at the law firm and just be super granular about it. But chances are, if you've been in this practice for a while, you've seen hundreds of these, thousands of these. And so what you can do is say, you know what, cool, I have options here. I have a term sheet that I like already, right? And maybe I just want to update it with the term sheet. So what you can do here is click this attach button down here in the chat bot and attach your term sheet. This works for like LOIs really well as well as other documents. So you can just say, hey, redline this agreement based on the term sheet I've attached. And so we'll give it a little bit, but what it's going to do is go through that entire document and redline it. Right now. So as it's thinking, this is not the only way that you can do this, right? For some people, you may already know what's in the document, or you may already have an idea of it, and you just want a summary, right? Or you want to say, hey, there's only certain clauses that really kind of grind my gears, or that I'm really focused on, that I typically have problems with and need to negotiate. So just, hey, tell me about those clauses, right? This chatbot can do so much. It can send emails, or it can write emails that you can send, create summaries, all types of stuff there. And let's see here. Let me try this again. Let me actually reload this here. Right. Based on the term sheet.
Where are these people from?
Welcome. All right, so I clicked that there. That's what I was supposed to do the first time. Thanks for bearing with me. So as it's thinking though, there are a number of ways to approach negotiation. This is just one of them. So you can have it simple, a simple upload the term sheet and update the document and redline it that way. There's also other things you can do as well that I'm going to show you on this top right here, we have playbooks where you can add different clauses and rules to redline the agreement based on. And then also we have projects where you can put instructions there. You can put past documents there. So say you have a number of like really good documents that you know you've already done in the past. You can use the expertise from those documents to redline any new ones and edit any new ones. Whoops. Well, I just saw there's multiple people from Canada. That's crazy. Um, Welcome. All right, I did kind of upload a pretty big document, so most term sheets may not be this long, right? So now it's giving me some options here that I can redline. So let's just go to this one here, right? I want it to show me in the document where this is, and then you'll see here all of these buttons that allow me to accept or reject the option here. So we'll start here, right? Um, let's say this. Right now, we wanted to put in here that there are no options, and it does that, right? We'll say wanted to eliminate the extension option. Cool, do that too. And all throughout here, we have so many different examples of places where the term sheet and the lease agreement that I have open differ, right? And so I'm actually able to go in here and make all of these changes if I want. I can go in the chat and say, hey, I like this, I don't like this. I can say, how about doing this in favor, more in favor of the tenant? Not sure how many people would actually want to do that for their clients, but that's definitely an option, right? So this is kind of the beginning. The chatbot is nice in the sense that you can kind of have it be a dialogue. You can have a dialogue with the chatbot. There are some people that have given it interesting nicknames and it answers to that now. There's a lot you can do here as you're training Gavel Exec to be your executive assistant. So the chatbot is one way that you can kind of substantially go in and make changes to your document and redline it pretty quickly. The other way, one of the other ways, is using a playbook. So let's actually just undo everything here. And so with Gavel, included in Gavel, as soon as you get it, what you can do is have playbooks. And some of them just come with Gavel, right? We have lease agreements, for example, here that you could just go in. And when you see and you look in here, there's all these different rules that you'll find that you can run your entire document by. So if you know, for example, that you always want a damage or destruction rule in there, you want it to look like this, you can just press play on this rule and it's going to make sure that that rule is in the document. If not, it's going to say an X. If it is, it's going to give you a check mark. We got a check mark here. We're doing good. Let's try it for this one here. I want to see how far we can get before getting an X. Oh, okay. Well, there it is. So this is the rule here. There's a tenant termination, right? And what we can do here is understand why it failed, right? And then we can also have proposed changes. Now, these are the playbooks that Gavel has created, but you can create your own. You know, again, like you are the expert, you're in the driver's seat. So all the different clauses that you have already that you know you want to use and that are perfect for you, you can run these, you can add these to your playbook and run them. So what it's doing right now is proposing a change to add this rule to that document, and then I'm going to have the opportunity to accept or reject that change. I'm obviously going to accept it, and then it's going to show me where that change is here. And yes, as Danae said in the chat, all of these playbooks that come with alongside with Gavel, they were created by real estate and corporate attorneys. Very vetted. All right, so this here is the red line that it made. It just added a bit more to this. So we're going to apply that change and also show it in the document. Cool. So this is where it is, and this is what we've added. Um, and so as you can see here, especially once you upload, say, your playbooks, it's going to make that process way easier, way quicker. Because I could just run things by a whole playbook if I want. So what I'll do is go to one that I created because you can always create new playbooks. You don't just have to use ours. Um, and I'll say here, like I made a playbook with some of my favorite clauses, and I can just run this document by my playbook. So I've done this before, so I'm pretty sure it's going to fail most of these. Just so I could show you how it works. Um, but here, um, I have my rule that I put in here, and I have the failure reason, and I can propose changes to it. So that's how you would use playbooks for that. And yes, you can attach multiple documents. You can do that in a variety of ways. You can do that in the chat bot, but you can also do it in another way. Thank you for asking that, Cole, because I was just getting to that. um, so we've gone over the settings gear thing here, that icon. We've gone over playbooks. We've gone over the chat. But there's also projects, right? So in projects, this is the place where you can add your own documents that you've already come out with, your client documents. And so many people will add an entire package of documents from different clients in the past. Um, and so what you can do is say, hey, these are my like past commercial leases, already made one here. You can start uploading them here. So you can upload those files here. And so what you can do in projects is give it instructions and start chats here to train it on those things, right? So it understands what, again, your favorite clauses are. And instead of having to manually create the playbooks, which is a great thing to do, you can go on projects and actually just have it naturally be trained on your documents in sets. And you can tell it what to do to make that more efficient. And the nice part is, again, um, this is all private to you. Like we don't use your documents, your data to train. We're not in the business of that. We understand security. I'll talk a little bit more about security after this, but it's important for us to prioritize accuracy and security as opposed to being a tech company that's just mining your data, that's really just in it to either train ourselves or get you to stay on it more, right? And that's important, especially with our chatbot function, because if you've used AI at all, if you've used any type of, whether it's like ChatGPT or Claude or some of the others, one of their main goals is to keep you on it, right? So if you've ever tried to use it for therapy, you'll see that, sometimes it kind of gives you these things that sound good, right? It's like, oh yeah, no, you're right. You're absolutely right. And sometimes you're wrong, right? But it's more important for you to stay on it than for it to be accurate. That's not how we've designed Gavel Exec. And so it's really super important, paramount to us to be accurate, to be secure, and also allow you to collaborate with other people at the same times, right? Um, yeah. Let's see here. So those are the basics of how to do some negotiation. So to recap here, you can use the chat, you can talk to the chat, you can access chat history if you're like, hey, I remember I said this thing, but I'm not sure. You can find it all in here. And again, all that history, everything is all private to you in your account in your workspace. So the only people that can access anything, whether it's like, whether it's say your playbooks, your projects, you can share them in your workspace with very specific people that you invite and only them. And then you can also use playbooks with these either Gavel created rules here or your own to negotiate as well. And you can also use past client documents that you can use to train in the project section. So again, those are the basics of how to negotiate contracts within Gavel. And now I'm going to stop sharing for a second as I get us back to that lovely presentation screen. A couple more quick things about Gavel Exec. So how it actually works, you don't need setup, you don't need pre-training. We're happy to train you and walk along with you if you'd like. But this isn't something where we need to have like necessarily a sales call or different training. Again, this is about you using your expertise on it, but we know that everybody's in different stages of understanding technology and AI, so we're happy to help you. Um, told you about the free trial, and it's 160 a month per user. Um, and again, the nice part is we have that coupon code. So as you try things out, you can use that for 25% off of the 160. And that is, ooh, math here, math. What is that like? 120? Yeah, 120 a user. Um, and again, trained by attorneys, and it's built to really understand context. One of the things that I meant to show you, didn't even get to show you is there's a deep reasoning mode on it. So if you're familiar with ChatGPT, um, the new edition that's come out, 5, there's a deep reasoning mode on it. So we've already been able to uh, give you the opportunity to activate deep reasoning mode for your redlining. And so that was one of the reasons why it took a little longer because it was doing a bit more deep reasoning. You don't have to use that, but feel free to. And then lastly, we see this effective not just in negotiating contracts, we see it in updating trust. So if you're in estate planning, we've seen it work very well there too. We've seen it in all different practice areas, real estate, all different types of agreements there, entertainment. The sky really is the limit for Gavel Exec. And I know someone asked about Spellbook. There's a number of things that differentiate us. I think one of the big ones that's important for me to point out right now is that we're newer. And we're constantly improving. There are updates going out weekly. And so things are constantly getting better. We're enjoying your feedback and we're making it into a powerhouse. So a lot of the companies that have been around for a while, um, they're in that space. They're cool being in that space. They're content there. We just happen to not be. So um now I'll open up for questions, but I did want to at least highlight some of the security things here. Um, Number one, we don't store your documents, we don't store your data. We don't train on your data. Again, we have our founder and CEO, obviously, Dorna, who is attorney. We have attorneys on staff. We work with attorneys to train this on our own data as we make it better for you. So the one way that we will is if you say, hey, it didn't work with this type of document, we'll find that type of document and train it to make it better. But we're not going to use your documents, your data, your client data. All of that is secure. It's encrypted, and it's stored in databases that are compliant with a wide variety of security. And we get regular penetration testing as well.